This second round recap of the PGA Championship is presented by Bonobos. Look good, play good, repeat. Tiger Woods, battling pain in his leg, battles through his second round and makes the cut. One of the big storylines going into the weekend at Southern Hills Country Club. Here's what happened in round 2 of the PGA Championship from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Rory McIlroy entering as the favorite, the round 1 leader at plus 275, playing alongside Tiger Woods. Tiger making his second start on tour since returning from a devastating leg injury. Entered round 2 at 4 over. Here on 5, third shot, 110 yards to the hole. And this, golf fans, is a nice shot. Within 5 feet from the cup, he knocked that in for birdie. Off to a good start at 1 under through 5. Now on 11, second shot on the par 3. And he overshoots the green into the bunker, goes on to double bogey, but he turned it around. Keep in mind the cut line is at 4 over. Here on 16, second shot, 211 yards to the hole. Snuggles it up nice and close. Put a snuggie on it. He kicked that in for birdie as he cards a 1 under 69 in round 2, and Tiger makes the cut. Tied for 53rd at 3 over. Tiger playing the weekend. Meantime, world number 1 Scottie Scheffler not playing the weekend. Final hole of his day, 6-foot bogey putt for Scottie. And misses. Double bogey, 5 over 75 in round 2. He finishes tied for 89th at 6 over. Second straight year, the world number 1 misses the cut at the PGA Championship. Dustin Johnson last year. DJ also missed the cut this year. Rory McIlroy, the leader after round 1 at 5 under. Here on 7 for par. Settles for bogey. 1 over 71 in round 2. He's tied for 5th at 4 under. Nobody had a better day than Bubba Watson. Second shot on 17, 103 yards away. And Bubba, feeling it, would tap that in for birdie. Tied for the lowest round in PGA Championship history. 7 under 63 in round 2. He's in 4th at 5 under, up 52 spots. Justin Thomas in contention, coming off his best opening round score in 7 PGA Championship starts at a 67 in round 1. On 13, third shot, he would kick that in for birdie. Won the PGA Championship in 2017, his only major. Putting with precision here on 9 as he walks in the birdie putt. Back-to-back 67s for JT. He's in 3rd at 6 under. Everyone chasing the youngster, the 25-year-old Will Zalatoris. T2 entering Friday. He was on a roll in round 2. Looking to win his first PGA Tour victory. Perhaps it'll be the PGA Championship. On 11, teeing off. Within 5 feet. He kicked that in for birdie. Now the co-leader. Now on 12 for birdie as he uses the claw grip here. Sinks it. Takes the solo lead. Now on 17. Second shot. Just off the fairway. Runs it up there within 7 feet. He'd make his birdie putt. A bogey-free 5 under 65 in round 2. Will Zalatoris at the top of the leaderboard at 9 under par after round 2. Third best opening 36-hole score in PGA Championship history as Will Zalatoris leads Mito Pereira by 1 shot. Now consider this. In the 7 previous major championships hosted at Southern Hills, each winner held at least a share of the 36-hole lead. Let's get right to the site. Welcome in CBS Sports HQ golf analyst Kyle Porter, who joins us from Southern Hills Country Club. Tiger Woods battling pain in his leg, battles through his second round, makes the cut. Kyle, how did Tiger look to you?
Well, he looked a lot better. You know, I thought Rory McIlroy, who played with him over the first 2 days, summed it up pretty well after his round. He said of Tiger, he's the ultimate pro. And I thought it was a really impressive grind from Tiger on Friday. Could have packed it in pretty easily, but he shot 69, made the cut at the PGA. You know, the list of guys that didn't make the cut at each of the first 2 majors of the year, like Tiger did, is pretty extensive. Scottie Scheffler didn't make the cut at the first 2 majors of the year. Neither did Dustin Johnson. Jordan Spieth missed it at the Masters. Brooks Koepka missed it at the Masters. And Tiger Woods, who's in a wheelchair this time a year ago, makes the cut at the first 2 major championships of the year. You know, it's not kind of the awe-inspiring performance that we saw from him early on in his career in 2000, 2005, anything like that. But there's kind of a humanity, I think, to what Tiger's done here at the PGA this week at Southern Hills, to be a 46-year-old who's basically on one leg to grind out a made cut just because you want to play the weekend, just because you want to have a chance. I think that's super impressive, and it was, in its own way, it was really kind of emotionally inspiring to watch up close and, on TV out here at Southern Hills on Friday.
Yeah, love to see him playing the weekend as he battles through, just to have him out there playing at a major. Meantime, world number one Scottie Scheffler, as you mentioned, is not playing the weekend. The Masters champ was the favorite to win the PGA Championship, missed the cut, carded a 5 over 75 in round 2. Really fell apart on his second 9, Kyle. Look, this is kind of a big picture question because this is something I've talked about with a lot of folks here in the newsroom. Do you look at Scottie Scheffler as a great player or a 25-year-old guy who has been on a hot streak?
I think it's both. He has been on a hot streak. That's not debatable. You know, that's what it's been. You don't win. Nobody wins 4 times in 7 events, so it's certainly a hot streak. But I think he's a great player. Also, if you look at his stats, Hakeem, from a year ago, from 2 years ago, they're not that much different than kind of the clip that he's been playing at right now, especially from tee to green. You know, you look at his driving numbers, his approach numbers, pretty similar to last year. Now, I will say this, the thing that let him down this week is the thing that he's actually been excelling at during this hot streak, and that's his short game. Strokes gained around the green, strokes gained with the putter. That's where he's been thriving. That's the reason that he's been winning, and that completely let him down this week. He put himself in some bad spots around these greens at Southern Hills that are pretty difficult to navigate, and he couldn't get it going with his short game. He couldn't save making it to the weekend, making the cut here at the PGA with his short game, and that's why he's going home early. I think he's probably out of gas a little bit too. You know, to win that many times, it takes a ton out of you emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You're just kind of depleted after time, and I think that's kind of what Scheffler's run into a little bit. That and the short game are why he will not be playing on the weekend at the second major championship of 2022.
All 4 of Scottie Scheffler's PGA Tour wins coming this calendar year, punctuated by his win at the Masters. All right, from one 25-year-old to another who is atop the leaderboard, 30th in the world, Will Zalatoris, looking for his first PGA Tour victory, cards a bogey-free 5 under 65. This after carding an opening round 66, Kyle. How about Zalatoris rising to the occasion through the first 2 rounds?
Yeah, he was awesome. He's one of the great ball strikers in the world. And you know, the difference for him, the reason that he's leading is because he's at the top of the field in terms of strokes gained putting. You know, that's kind of his weakness. I thought it was interesting, Hakeem. I looked up his numbers for the PGA Tour season. He's 193rd in terms of putts inside of 10 feet. This week he's first. He hasn't missed one yet. So that'll get it done in terms of scoring. I think the thing for him that's really interesting, it's not so much for me the putting stroke, does it hold up over the weekend, although that is a question. The bigger thing for me is it's really hard to get your first PGA Tour win at a major championship, right? And that's what both he and Mito Pereira of Chile are facing. They've not won on the PGA Tour, and they're great players. Zalatoris especially is an elite ball striker, and I think will win a lot on the PGA Tour. But to do it for the first time, that's extraordinarily difficult, especially when you've got Justin Thomas, Rory McIlroy, guys of that caliber kind of breathing down your neck.
We saw him get so close at the Farmers, but lost in a playoff. Perhaps he breaks through there at Southern Hills this weekend. The round 1 leader, Rory McIlroy, now 5 shots off the pace, 1 over 71 in round 2. Kyle, what was different for Rory from round 1 to round 2?
Well, he didn't drive the ball as well. He put himself in some kind of tough spots off the tee. He didn't, you know, I followed him, both him and Tiger, on the front 9 on Friday, and he didn't have his best. He wasn't giving himself any birdie looks. You know, it was hard for him to score because from tee to green, he just wasn't putting himself in position to make birdies. It wasn't that he missed a bunch of 10 or 12 footers or anything like that. He didn't have them. He was lagging the ball pretty well with his putter. You know, he'd have these 30 footers and he'd lag it to 2 feet and make a fairly easy par, but he just didn't give himself scoring opportunities. I think that was disappointing for Rory, not just because he fell back on the leaderboard, but also because he got the easier wave, Hakeem. His wave that late tee time, early on Thursday, late on Friday, was easier by 2 strokes than the late early. Justin Thomas's wave was 2 strokes harder. So Rory didn't take advantage of that. The wind completely laid down in the afternoon here, and he just didn't take advantage in terms of scoring opportunities on what could have been another round in the 60s for him on Friday.
Rory, a 2-time winner of the PGA Championship. You mentioned Justin Thomas. He won the PGA Championship in 2017, his only major title. He's 3 shots back using a Scottie Cameron prototype putter. He had it at the Byron Nelson where he had a top 5, back-to-back 67s here at Southern Hills. Kyle, if he continues to play the way he has the first 2 rounds, will it be enough to hoist the Wanamaker Trophy for a second time?
I think it will be. JT's got a ton of winning experience, obviously won the Players' Championship last year. You'll see a bunch of his just flighted shots on Friday. He kept the ball under the wind really, really well on Friday at the PGA. And you know, I thought Hakeem, he did a great job of thinking his way around this golf course. Again, he had a wave that late early tee time, late on Thursday, early on Friday, that was 2 strokes harder than the opposite. So he could have very easily been 8 under, 9 under, 10 under if he had caught that opposite wave. He's hitting the ball beautifully. Now, his score has been put together because he's putting well. He's not had a very good year putting, but he's putting it great this week. He's in the top 10 in terms of strokes gained putting. But that's not why I like him. I like him because I think he's the best iron player in the world right now. And when that wind picks up here in Oklahoma, as it did this morning, he has the ability to kind of flight it and move it around this place, maybe better than anybody in the field. So I think it'll benefit him if it gets windy and gusty and kind of cold on the weekend, because he'll be able to use that iron play to his advantage. I'm excited about what's to come for him on the weekend here.
So he is your pick to win the PGA Championship?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, what I saw today, just not just the shots. I mean, you saw him on TV just fighting it, hitting that kind of cut, low, spinny driver around the trees here, and then flighting those wedges into some difficult hole locations. But it's also his ability, and I think this came through on TV as well, to have these conversations with his caddy, Jim Bones Mackay, where they're trying to figure out what to do. They made really, really good decisions in some really tough conditions on Friday. I think if that keeps up, if he's able to kind of mentally stay engaged like he was on Friday, I think he gets his second major championship of the year, or of his career.
That'd be incredible. JT has the second best odds to win the PGA Championship behind only Will Zalatoris. Kyle Porter breaking it down for us here on CBS Sports HQ. Kyle, great work through the first 2 rounds. We'll see you over the weekend. And you can watch 3rd and 4th round coverage of the PGA Championship on CBS Saturday and Sunday beginning 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also stream it live on Paramount Plus, CBSSports.com, and on the CBS Sports app. We'll have post-round analysis right here on CBS Sports HQ.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.